When is it? I think May 14th. We'll see, because they keep changing the laptop check-in days on us. Okay, so today we are doing multiplying and dividing rational functions. A rational function, remember, is something with an expression on the top and the bottom of a fraction, and one of the, or both of them aren't equal to 0. So, it looks really blurry on this side. When we are simplifying a fraction, we need to factor our expressions, so, and cancel out anything they have in common, and then I have x not equaling whatever I cancel out. So, number 1 asks me to simplify this fraction. What I want to do is I want to factor my numerator, so I'm looking for what multiplies to negative 12 and adds up to negative 4. Almost. Negative 6, positive 2. Okay. On the bottom, I'm looking for what multiplies to negative 4 and adds up to 0 because I don't have a middle term. Not quite. So usually when a number multiplies to negative 2 and positive 2, because they cancel each other out when I go to add them. So notice, after I've factored, I have the same piece on the top and bottom, the same binomial expression. Because this is repeated, I can cancel it out. And then just rewrite it with the leftover pieces. So I can have x minus 6 over x minus 2. Then I also need to do one more thing because I got rid of a binomial in the denominator. I need to set that one equal to 0. Oops. And I don't mean set it equal to 0. I mean set it not equal to 0. So with the line through the equal sign. Because I canceled it out, the denominator can't ever be 0, so if I put this back into the original one, it would make it 0. So then I would just solve this. I subtract 2 on both sides. I get that x can't equal negative 2. So my final part of this answer is x minus 6 over x minus 2. And then I can't plug in negative 2 because that would make the original equation not true. Okay, so on number 2, what is my top factor to? Okay. X minus 4 and x plus 3, because negative 4 times positive 3 gives me negative 1. And negative 4 times positive 3 gives me negative 12. Someone else, what is my denominator factor to? X plus 3, x minus 3. So then what do I want to do next? Okay, so I have an x plus 3 on the top and bottom. Those are going to cancel out. So I can rewrite it without that. I'm going to have x minus 4 over x minus 3. Then what do I do next? Am I done? Okay. X plus 3 doesn't equal 0. And then I subtract 3 on both sides, which gets me x doesn't equal negative 3. Questions? I don't know why I'm losing my voice. Questions here on number 2. Yep. Okay. So number 3 is finding the product. When I multiply two expressions together, I multiply straight across. So, since I'm multiplying straight across, what's 8 times 7? Okay. Then with my x exponents, I just add them. So 3 plus 4 is, and then my y exponents, I add them as well. When something's not written, we always assume it's a 1. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Then for the denominator, I have 2 times 4. Eight. And then I just have an x with nothing to go to it. For my y's, I have a y squared and a y to the 1 on the bottom. Y cubed. Then I want to break this up into 3 fractions. So I'm going to have the number parts together. I'm going to have the x's together. And then I'm going to have the y's together. Oh, that was cute. Okay. So I want to simplify each fraction. What is 56 divided by 8? 7. X to the 7th divided by x to the 1st. Remember, with my exponent properties, I subtract. Yep, x to the 6th power. And for my y's, I have y to the 4th and y cubed. Just y. So, because I got rid of x and y from the denominator, x and y both can't be 0. And this is my final answer. questions here? What do you mean? What? Y doesn't equal 0? Or so since both of them were originally on the bottom of the fractions, I can't have them equaling 0 because that will give me, multiplying by 0 on any of them will give me 0 on the denominator. And you can't have zeros on the bottom of fractions. Any other questions here? Okay. Then okay. So number 4, what do I want to start off by doing? Okay, 6 times 9 gives me what? Add the exponents just for my x's, so 2 plus 5 is. Then my y's. This one has a secret exponent of 1. 1 plus 2 is. On the bottom, what do I get? So I have 3 times 2 is. And then x has nothing to go with. And then I have y cubed and y. So y to the 4. Then I'm going to split these up into fractions for each of the different parts. So I'm going to have 54 divided by 6 plus u. X to the 7th over x. Y cubed over y to the 4th. Okay. So what is 54 divided by 6? Okay. X to the 7th, and then this one has an x to the 1, so 7 minus 1 is?
8.
Subtracting, David. So gets a 6. And then for the y's, I have 3 minus 4, which gives me negative 1. Negative exponents put you back on the denominator. Or if I just regularly subtracted 4 and 3, I would get 1, and then I keep the y on the side of the larger exponent. And then I just need to say x can't equal 0. The reason I don't need to say y doesn't equal 0 is because I still have a y on the denominator. So I can still see that if I plug in 0 for y, it's going to not work. Questions here? Do I have more on the back? Okay. What's gonna do? It's like still multiplying, isn't it? Oh. So, with number 5, does it make you feel better if I tell you don't have homework today? Okay. So, you have it on Monday when we have the 2 hours of class. You don't have an assignment today. It's on Monday because I broke this into 2 parts. So, well, you should finish the assignment first on Monday, and then I'm kicking her out, but not on Monday. She stays on Monday. I kick her out on Thursday, Friday. Because you only have to do, math is only Thursday, Friday. Monday you have your English test, or Tuesday, whenever you have English. Thursday, Friday. You get to stay on Monday. Okay, so number 5, I want to, Leslie, be quiet. Number 5, I want to factor before I multiply. So, remember how we factored on number 1 and 2? I want to factor number 5 each of my fractions. So, on this first one, you see how they both have 3x in them? On the top? So I'm going to pull out a 3x, and then what I get from dividing 3x minus 3x squared by 3x, I write inside parentheses. So anything divided by itself gives me 1. And then negative 3x squared divided by 3x gets me negative x. What? So question so far. All I've done is factor the top of the first fraction. Okay. These are both 3x's. Because I'm pulling the 3x out front, so I need to divide each term by 3x. Okay? Yeah. And then on the denominator, what multiplies to negative 5 and adds to positive 4? Yeah. Two numbers that multiply to negative 5 that also add to 4. Yep, positive 5 and negative 1. Okay, then I want to factor my second fraction. I'm looking for what multiplies to negative 30 and adds to positive 1. Which one's negative? Okay. And then on my denominator, it's just going to stay 3x. Questions so far? Why does it look like that? I was in the middle of teaching. What? College algebra. Well, they weren't going to give it to me here. They were going to give me algebra. No, I know. Okay, so I'm still not done with number 5. What do I want to do that I did in number 1? Guys, still on number 5. I want to cancel out my terms that I have on the top and bottom. Yeah, I'm just going to cancel them out. One thing I want to point out is I can turn this one into that one if I divide by negative 1. So and then what do I still have left? Okay. So then I can cancel out those x minus 1s again. So give me a final answer of negative out front, and then x minus 5, x plus 6 over x plus 5. No, they're opposite signs, so you can't cancel them. They have to be exactly the same. Okay, and then anything I crossed out from my denominator, I need to have x can't equal. So I can't have 0, because I cancel out a regular x. And then this one, oops. can't equal 1. So questions here. Okay, so number 6, what do I get when I factor? How about 5x, 1 minus x on the top, and then on the bottom I get x minus 1 and x minus 3. It's both of them. Yeah, they're both negative. You can write it in either order, but they're both negative. You will get the same answer. Yeah, you will. Okay, then on the second fraction, I have x minus 3, x minus 2 over 5x. So what can I cancel out right now? So I can cancel out my 5x's and anything else? Are these the same? Yeah. So if I rewrote it, I'd have negative x plus 1. So I need to factor out another negative 1 from them, remember? So then I have a negative on the outside, and then I can have my x minus 1. Oh, the extra 1 was up top. Okay. So my x minus 1's cancel out, and I'm left with negative x minus 2. I can leave this in parentheses, or I can distribute. Either will be fine. I'm going to distribute just because I don't like parentheses. So I'm going to have negative x plus 2. And that's not my final answer, because I need to take care of all the things I canceled out from my denominator. So I'm going to have x minus 1 doesn't equal 0. Add 1 to both sides, so I can't have 1. Then I do the same thing for x minus 3. Add 3 to both sides. X can't equal 3. Then I want to do the same thing for 5x. Divide both sides by 5. X can't equal 0. Questions here on number 6. So number 7 is kind of the same thing, except this one is just written over a secret 1 so I can multiply straight across. So I'm going to factor again. Nope, x plus 2 doesn't factor. So x plus 2 is going to stay the same. Ooh, x cubed minus 27 is following a difference of cubes. October 31st. So when I have a difference of cubes pattern, it follows the one I just wrote in red. And I'm going to write the sum of cubes because I'm pretty sure you need that formula for number 8. We've learned these before. I think it was last semester. It could have been this semester. I don't remember. Guys, you should be copying down the difference of cubes and sum of cubes. Unless you have these formulas memorized. Copy them down just in case. No, we're gonna watch it in a few minutes. Oh, I have actually. Yeah. It's okay. It's better than I think like the rest of them. It feels more like a sports assembly. Well, like I know that it feels like it, like whereas like the other ones kind of just didn't feel like the assemblies. What? Bird? Like, Leslie, is it alive? Okay, so then, if I'm plugging in, my A is X, my B is the cube root of 27, which is 3. So I'm going to have X minus 3 on the denominator, and then X squared plus A times B, so 3 times X, and then 3 squared is 9. Guys, focus on this. So what I did right here is I just found the cube root of each so I could figure out what A and B were. A is X, B is 3. And then I plugged into my difference of cubes formula. So I did A minus B, and then A squared plus AB plus B squared. Okay. Then I want to cancel things out. No, because the formula, because the third is what I start off with, but I factor and I reduce my exponents when I factor. Okay. Okay, so what can I cancel out on this one? Yep. So then I'm just left with what? Yep. And this is just my answer because that quadratic that I canceled out on a difference of cubes doesn't factor anymore. So I can't even solve it for 0. It gives me imaginary numbers. Why did I write this? So I could show that the cube root of 27 was 3, and that's where I got my B value from. Okay. Any other questions on number 7? Okay. So on number 8, I don't need to factor my top one. That stays X minus 7. What do I do for the bottom one? What's the cube root of 8? So I'm going to have X plus 2 in my first one. And then I'm plugging into the sum of cubes, which is the bottom equation I wrote right here. So that's X plus 2. And then I'm going to have X squared minus A times B. So 2 times X. I said minus, and then I wrote plus. Okay. And then plus B squared. So 2 squared is 4. And then I'm going to be multiplying by the X squared minus 2X plus 4 over 1. Can I cancel anything out? Yep. So it leaves me with what? Oops. Why am I so bad at my negatives today?